not for everyone. You know, you have to be willing to. Other people may be like, okay, I haven't had a client in a couple of days. I'm about to go get another job. You know,
you gotta stick it out.
Be willing to stick it out.
I love that. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Newbie, or as we like to call it, 10 Podcasts, where we have real stories, real startups, and real success. I'm your host, Davina Shorter, and I am here to guide you through your journey of entrepreneurship. Each week, we'll have different entrepreneurs from various industries who are gracious enough to share their startup story. They'll share their ups, their downs, and everything in between. So if you're thinking about starting your own venture, or you're just interested in hearing the startups of these entrepreneurs, then you are in the right place. So grab a pen and paper, settle in. Let's go on this journey into entrepreneurship. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Say win.
I win. Oh, and that's a big glass of win.
I hear that it's been 10 years of you being a full-time entrepreneur.
Yes.
So let's definitely start it off with a cheers, because that I need to know the whole story behind that. I need to know everything. Okay, so welcome back to the 10 Podcast, where we talk about everything entrepreneurship. Today, I have a very, very, very special guest. Hair salon owner, catering company owner, social media influencer, mom, wife. It goes on and on. Arie, please say the baby, Davis.
Johnson.
Yes, Johnson shit. I see that all the time. Yes, Johnson shit. So how are you?
I'm good.
I'm so happy that you're here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, and you look so beautiful. First of all, I was like, I would have the person that do hair come on, and I can't get no hair appointment till end of the. I'm just gonna have to wing it, because
your hair looks fine.
It was no way I was gonna compete anyway. So your hair always looks good.
Thank you.
So I'm really happy to have you on, because I've actually have been just super impressed by just everything that you do. You never know that people are watching you. You know, from the beginning and everything, and to be celebrating over 10 years of being an entrepreneur. Go back to the beginning, because you probably were one of the first entrepreneurs that I actually knew, when entrepreneur wasn't really a thing that we could actually get, you know? So go back to the beginning. How did your story start into this?
Well, basically, I went to hair school. I graduated hair school maybe 2012.
Okay.
But rewind, before that, I did go to college. I went for 2 semesters, and my second semester is when I really found that I had the passion for doing hair.
Really?
I was doing other ladies' hair on campus that didn't have, when you're in college, it's hard to find somebody to do their hair.
Yes.
So I was doing my own hair. So when they would see me on campus, oh, okay, her hair looks nice, and I was only doing my natural hair. Weave wasn't even really a big thing.
Right.
Then, So, long story short, I had other girls ask me to do their hair, and I was keeping people's hair, up while I was in school. So that drove me to you know what? I'm going to go home, and I'm going to go to cosmetology school, and that's what I did.
Nice.
Yes. After that, I was doing hair at a barbershop for maybe a year or so. I left the barbershop. I ended up going to my granny's basement, and that's really where it took off. Within 2 to 3 years, I did so many people have been in my granny's basement. I know if some people can remember, I still have some of my clientele that was with me in my granny's basement over 10 years ago. So yeah, it's a blessing. It's definitely work. It definitely has its ups and downs, its slow days, its great days, but you have to be willing to just stick it out and be willing to know it's not a plan B.
College is a little easier, because most, what college did you go to?
Vincient's University. It was a small college in Indiana.
Okay, so most colleges, the black people find the black people, and it's easy, but to come home, how did you get clientele? You wasn't doing hair before you went to college like that?
No,
okay.
Not at all. Basically just word of mouth. Even social media wasn't really big.
Right.
The posting your hair, the pictures were horrible, so it's basically just people telling you, hey, Arie is in Bellwood, she does good hair, she does sew-ins, this, that. And you'd be surprised how the word of mouth took off. Business cards, handing business cards out. That's
the old way.
And I still believe in that. I think people should get back to that too, you know, because I have so many people that ask me, oh, your hair looks nice, or who does your hair? And then you have to like send them on social media, give me your page instead of just having a card, you know. Sometimes my phone is dead, you know. So.
Yeah. So you're in your grandma's house, doing hair full time at that point?
Full time.
So have you ever had a job outside of?
Oh yeah, many jobs. And that's why I feel sometimes like I've been doing this over 10 years and I've had many jobs. So I'm like, how old am I? You know, how long have I been really working? But yes, I used to be in customer service for years, at least like 5 to 6 years.
Okay, so that makes
call centers, nothing but, yes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because that is one thing to me that kind of sets you apart, and that is one thing that I have noticed that a lot of hairstylists don't have. They lack customer service. Yeah. So to have like that foundation and then like sure. That's just
okay. It definitely helps out, and I feel like even some stylists, they start off so young and they're great at what they do, but they may not have that customer service aspect because they've never been taught to work with different type of people or that type of atmosphere, you know. So it's
you should definitely teach a class on that because girl, it really does. I mean, it really does set you apart from other people. Like I've never heard anything bad. It's just brand. Like your brand is like really there to me. Like I can tell that it's an intentional. Like regardless, I still am branding myself. I'm an entrepreneur, and I kind of just move a little differently. You know,
for sure. Because I feel like it's so many talented stylists out there, even better than me. You know what I mean? You have to bring a little more to the table.
Yes.
You have to. I mean. It's so many people doing good sew-ins. What else do you have to offer?
Right,
you know?
Right.
And I think a lot of my clients continue to come back, and it's more than just the good hair.
Right, exactly. Because
sure.
That's the one. You can do hair great, but if your customer service is trash, then I'm good because this is not cheap.
Yeah, I can take my money elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
I like that that's your mindset. At what point is it like, okay, I need a bigger place now, or like, you know, what made you move?
Too many people coming in and out of my granny's house.
Really?
Yes, I'm like, okay. And my granny didn't mind, of course. Even when I brought to her, like, you know what, I'm gonna go find me a space and rent it out. She's just like, why would you go pay somebody, taking out of your money? But it's like, if you just, sometimes it takes you to get out of your comfort zone to grow, even though it's scary.
You better say that
You
word.
know, so I'm like, I may not have the money to pay for this space every month, you know, but just in my mind, I'm like, this is what I want to do. And I didn't want, it was so many people coming to my granny's house, and it's like, strangers know where you live, where you lay your head. It's just, I don't like to mix it. It works for other people, you know, but I just didn't like to continue to mix where I lived and where I was working. And I didn't have any balance. I was waking up doing hair and going to sleep doing hair. And it was like, no structure.
Right, so you worked from home before work from home was even a thing.
Exactly. Yes. And that was like how you roll out of your bed, but you put your headset on. That was literally me rolling out of bed, brushing my teeth, going downstairs doing hair until I would like go to bed. Like, yes.
So, okay. At this point, how old were you? Probably still like early 20s?
Yeah, I probably was like 20.
Really?
Yeah. I probably was like 20. My last like punch a clock job was Aldo. I was an assistant manager at Aldo in Yorktown.
Oh, nice.
And I remember I went on a vacation to the Bahamas, and when I came back, they had took me off the schedule. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do, you know? And then they like, well, the holidays are coming up and we may put you back on, but after that, I'm like, I need to go around and promote hair. I really wanted to do hair, but I just didn't have any clientele. So that's when I got some business cards made, started handing them out. After that, I would get a few people here and there, maybe on the weekends, to the point where I'm like, well, I got 3 sew-ins today. I don't want to go to Aldo, you know?
Right.
And I was giving my hours away. Then I'm like, I'm just going to try to go full time. I'm just going to try to, you know?
That's scary.
Really put faith, very. You know, I was young, I didn't have any kids, so it's a little different then. You know, it's easier said than done, but back then it was okay. And I, you know, had my support system. I had my granny, and she was like, go ahead, if that's what you want to do. And it ended up just really working.
I mean,
out for me.
obviously.
Yeah. Well, years later, it took time to be on it though, but yeah, he ended up working out.
So, being a 20-year-old and just like going to basically sign a contract, like sign a contract for this space or whatever, like how would I mean, I would be scared. Just
I was, and you know what? I was on Craigslist. I didn't know what I was looking for.
Craigslist,
because I was looking for a small space. I didn't want anything big, just for myself. And actually, I don't advise this, but I lied to the man that was renting the space. It was a very small space, and basically no bowls, no washing bowls, anything. So I told him that I was selling hair out of there, not doing the hair, you know. So it was on top of a dental office in Oak Park. I'll never forget that. And the dental office seen so much traffic, like going in and out. And then I guess they started saying, like, I guess I was doing clients up there. It was like hair tracking down the stairs. So they kind of knew like I was doing a doing hair services up there. So once I got caught, he said he was not gonna renew my contract, but he gave me such good advice, and that's the push I needed. He said, "You seem like you have such a great clientele. Why don't you get you a storefront?" I said, "Sir, because I'm not ready for anything like that, you know, and this was just me stepping out and trying to, you know, start my business." So he gave me recommendations to different suites and stuff like that. But actually my husband Terrell found my suite after I moved from there. And I actually had a suite years ago, before suites were really popular then. Yes, I had a suite like maybe 8 or 9 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I had that suite for maybe like a year. I didn't like it. I didn't like the management that were over the suites at all. I was being very much micromanaged, and I didn't like it. But that again made me uncomfortable and pushed me to go and get my own. And that's when I finally went and got my own salon.
Nice. That is like so many gems in that story, and it seemed like basically the whole cliche of being uncomfortable is what pushes you, you know.
And people look at like when things happen to you or bad things happen, I just try to look for the best of it, because it's like, if this never happened, this wouldn't make me be this. You know?
I even, you know, the situation we had earlier, and I really appreciated you responding with positivity.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
because I know things happen.
Yeah,
you know,
and it was
gotta keep it.
Yeah, and it just can change everything. Just a positive mindset. I also have seen like type of situations, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen you like go to different classes and always kind of like staying with the trend. Is it a strategy behind it, or what is the purpose, or?
You will get left behind. Okay, and just because it's so many girls out here starting younger and younger, you just have, like, now I feel like an old stylist, you know, and I don't want to become that old stylist that only does basic sewing. It's like, oh, well, you can go to Arie for a little natural sewing, but if you want a good wig, you got to go here.
Right.
So just to stay up on the new trends, to stay versatile, I pride myself in that. And I think anybody that's good at what they do, don't get comfortable or think you know it all, or you're just as good as you can get. You know, you have to. And I want my clients, I don't care if you want your natural hair done or a ponytail, or you want a wig. You may want to just try your wig. You know, I don't want you to have to go elsewhere to get that. So I'm like, I have to. Some stylists, they want to specialize in certain things. You know, me, I like to be well-rounded and know, you know.
So that's also big, because obviously you have to go to another stylist to learn, you know, something they know. So I'm sure there's kind of like a humbling experience that, you know, my quote-unquote competition is the person that is actually helping me, you know, move forward. Do you see it like that, or
no,
just like it's what's in it for me?
I don't ever see other stylists as competition. Not saying it like that, but I just feel like, just like these stylists that have classes and stuff, they don't have to do that. You know what I mean? They don't have to teach you their techniques or stuff like that. So that's humbling to me. I love that. I love to learn from other stylists. I've had stylists do it. I don't offer classes, but I've had stylists come to me and ask me for classes in different areas, and I've gave it to them, and that's humbling to me. You know, so
I love that. Is that a you thing, or is that an industry thing that is kind of just, you know, inclusive amongst hairstylists?
I can't speak for everybody.
Right.
Some people are very competitive,
Mhm.
you know, but I just feel like if you do good hair and you have a lot to offer to your clients, then it's so, obviously you see, it's so many hairstylists in Chicago,
Mhm.
and a lot of them stay booked and busy. So it's enough business
Mhm.
to go around. So, and everybody isn't for everyone. You
Right,
know? So,
right, and exactly. So what was the moment that it was like I'm like really doing this? Like I feel successful. Like I set up to do what I said I was gonna do, and I'm doing it.
probably when I opened my shop.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, maybe like a week or so after it was full, like the makeup girl was in there doing her makeup, and Mario had a client, the braid girl had a client, I had a client, we had people waiting, and just the overall look at the shop and just see like, you know, from where I started to now, it was a full circle moment, like wow.
What is the different experience with having a shop versus, you know, having your sweet space? Is it pros and cons to each one?
To me, yes. I hate to be biased or, you know, distract anyone, because it's great to own your own, have your own salon, but it can be a lot. And it's not, just because you're an entrepreneur, I think a lot of times feel like that's the ultimate goal, is to own your own salon, but it's not if it's not lucrative, or if it's not, you're not benefiting by it. You're just saying like, oh, I have a salon, you know? And it took me 7 years to realize that. Like, when you have a salon, you're really supposed to be, you know, profiting off of the salon, not just paying to work in your own space.
Right.
And that's really what made me go get a suite. After a few years of just like, okay, I'm not really profiting off of this. I can afford this, but I'm not making money how I should be making off of it. And that's when I'm like, I believe I can just go and get me a suite and less overhead and save money. And
so it's funny that you say that, because a lot of people, it's hard to like reevaluate the situation, even if it seemed like you're kind of taking a step back, you know, and it's basically based on how other people see it, not what makes sense for you, you know. So it's important to do that, and it's like, who cares, you know, if that works for me. So, because sometimes you just have to reevaluate the situation, and what used to work doesn't work. What was the goal isn't the goal anymore.
Yeah, you really have to do. Sometimes people worry about like what things looks like to other people on the outside, you know, but you really have to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
You know, nobody made me close my salon. Nobody, you know, I mean, I was sad at first about closing, because I'm like, oh, it took me so long to get here and that, but I accomplished a lot with my salon, you know, and I think the smartest thing to do is to do what's best for me.
Exactly.
So yeah, now I'm at peace.
I was even gonna say, I'm sure it's like
my suite. Yes. Just sweep up my space and go home. If you want a salon, get a salon. It's great, but yes.
I love that. I love the wisdom and all of that. So before I move on, you know, best advice you can give someone that fresh out of school, thinking this is like the route for them, like what would you tell them?
It may sound so cliche, but just like, don't give up. And even if you have to do something else
while you're
don't just feel like, oh, I'm such a failure because I have to do something else and this is not. No, a lot of people have to get other jobs, do other things to fund their dreams, or to do what they're gonna do until it takes off, you know. So, and just because you have a bad day or no clients, it's not like the end. It happens to everybody.
Did it take you a while to develop that mindset? Was it days that it was like, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore because I'm not?
Oh yeah. Like, I sound like that now, but it probably just was like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so slow. What is going on? You know, talking to my husband, you're like, you have slow periods. Like, you've been doing this 10 years, you know that, you know, but yeah, it definitely has its ups and downs. And you have to just be, that's why I feel like it's not for everyone. You know, you have to be willing to, other people may be like, okay, I haven't had a client in a couple of days, I'm about to go get another job, you know?
You gotta stick it out.
Just, be willing to stick it out.
I love that.
Yes.
So I recently saw the cutest two little girls on your Snapchat. Oh my God. Like, when I say your oldest daughter was like doing like a YouTube, like she had her own YouTube.
She wants a YouTube channel, so.
Oh, she is so cute. So, but I'm sure it's like so much of a balance being an entrepreneur and a mom. How do you balance that?
My support system
Okay.
is a blessing. Okay, so that plays a huge part in it. Other than that, I just love that I am able to have control of my schedule. So it is, if it is something that I really need to do, the freedom of your own time and blocking that time off and just, I really had to learn that too. I had to learn balance, especially when I first had a kid. Just learning to, it's okay to take time off. Like work will always be there, and I had to learn the hard way. But they grow up so fast, So it's like you only get.
Right. So you was a kind of a workaholic too?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely was, yeah.
So it's so funny because you have two type of people. You have the people that's, lazy and you have to push them to work. And then you have the people that you have to like say, stop working.
That was
yes.
That was my mom, even real. Thank God I changed because I probably wouldn't be a wife right now. But he hated it. When I say hated it, it was like no balance, and I wouldn't even say money hungry. It's just I loved what I do, So
yes.
Once my clientele, when you go from maybe having one client a day or no clients a day to 9 clients a day, it's like adrenaline. And you want to keep going with it, and it was just like. I was falling asleep on date nights, and it was just no balance, and then getting home so late, my kids already sleep. Thank God for a good father. He's at home with her, but then I'm at work all day, morning and night. No, bonding time, when I come home, and then once, that's what really clicked with me. Once she started school, whether it was kindergarten or anything, just me being there for her little recitals, whether it was programs at school or being home in time enough to fix dinner and homework and get her in bed, like all that is important, And if I have to cut my schedule off shorter or change my schedule around, then that's what I have to do because it's like, being a mom is first,
Yes.
The money will come.
Yes.
It will come.
I definitely can relate to all of that. Like I have to literally make myself just relax, just go turn the laptop off, just, be done with it. So, and that's a struggle within itself. So you mentioned a lot about your husband and, how supportive he is. How is it, because you're a boss all day and then you come home, like, does that hat come off? Does it interfere sometimes with just, work and being a wife?
I wouldn't say it, because you know what, I'm not bossy.
Okay.
And I'm not like that, you know what I mean? I'm a boss, but of myself, so anybody else knows. So I don't carry that demeanor really when I go home, and I just really don't have to, he gives me room to live my soft girl era, my soft girl life, so I don't have to really go home. I may go home and vent sometimes, but it's not really maybe a client, a no call, no show or something, but it's not hard going home and, detaching work from being at home, not at all, no.
Do you think that you could have been where you are now without the support of your husband?
Ooh. No. No. Yeah.
That's good, because, people take husbands for granted a lot, know, and they're like, no, that's kind of a flex, he finally did.
It's been, I'm like, my goals, just talking, getting visions out of my head, talking his ears off every night, until it really comes to pass, and him just helping me he believes in any vision that I have, and he helps me bring that to life.
I love that. That's good. I love to see your date nights. I get like so much inspiration, especially like when you go out of town and stuff. Like I'm like, oh, okay, and put that on my list of stuff to do. So let's transition. You have a catering business, and I really wanted to talk about that because I often feel like I hate that I can't just strictly do one thing. I have to do multiple things. I always be like, I wish I could just be that person that just did that. So when I see other people doing multiple things, it's like, okay, I am not crazy. People like to do multiple things. So where did that come from? How did that even start?
Really as a joke, no lie. So I always cook for my husband, but then I got kind of into just making it look fancy, presentation, you know, and I would put it on Snapchat, and people would snap me and always joking around like, well, maybe they were joking, maybe they weren't. I need a plate. I will pay you for a plate. Your food always looks amazing. You should sell food. And I would always show my husband the messages, and we would laugh about it, you know. And one day I'm like, if one more person asks me to sell a plate, I'm gonna start selling dinners, you know. And we were literally joking about it. And one day he's just like, maybe you should try it out, you know. I mean, no experience, like literally I only cook for my small household, like my husband and my daughter. I mean, I just had another daughter, but just 3 people. So it's like going from that to 30 dinners, it was a lot. And at first I'm like, what have you got yourself into?
Right.
But after the first dinner sale, just seeing all those messages and people really enjoying the food, you know, I'm just like, wow. Then I did it again, a second time, and then the people were coming back. I said, okay, whether they were being nice or not, they don't have to come back.
Right.
Nobody's making them come back and get this food. So
right.
I'm like, maybe the food is good, you know. So after a few dinner sales and just word of mouth and people buying dinners for me, it just kind of took off from there. And that's where the catering started. People like, I've had your dinners, do you think you could make me a pan of macaroni or a pan of this? I'm like, well, I guess so. Not even knowing prices, nothing. Like, yeah, it just literally started from Snapchat. That's how it started.
That's what's up. So what type of research did you do to price your stuff and things
just
like
different
that?
chefs, like that I follow private chefs. I even reached out to a few. Some didn't want to help me, some were very helpful.
Nice.
I had a mentor for a while. She was a chef, lived on the south side. I never met her a day in my life, but she gave me so much great advice about the business.
Really?
And that's like somebody, especially being a hairstylist and trying to step over into another lane, they could just be like, you know, what are you doing? You know, but she was so helpful. And I've had other chefs, even out of state. I'm the type of person, I'm not shy. So if I got a question, you either can leave me on red or you can help me, you know. So I've inboxed a lot of chefs, just asking different advice, and believe it or not, some of them are very nice and very helpful.
I love that. How many people do you think you probably reached out to just gain insight on this new industry?
Anywhere from 5 to 10, maybe, different people. But it's people that I follow for a while and seen their business and how they do, you know. So I feel like I've tried each lane. I've tried the dinners, I've tried the catering, and last year I tried to step into the private dinners, going to people's homes, and I found I love that the best.
Really?
And I kind of want to, I just put back out there that I'm going to start back catering since I had my baby, but that's really the lane that I want to continue to go in with the food, is the private catering and just getting that one-on-one experience and at home, more of a luxury service. Yeah.
Is there any downsides? What are the downsides to the business?
I think just finding a clientele, because I'm just known for the hair, you know. Sometimes it's kind of hard to separate it. So sometimes I feel like I'm so lax on that. Like a lot of my hair clients, they'll come like, oh, are you still doing the food? You know, probably because I'm not posting about it. But it's hard to keep up with both. And social media is so demanding now. You know, you have to be a content creator. So it's like, it's a lot, but I'm definitely trying to keep up with it. And eventually I'm going to have somebody come in and help me with my catering business. So with the luxury one, you will cook in their house. Okay. Or if they have a space or somewhere they rent it out with the kitchen, a hotel room.
I love that. So I mean, I hate to ask this because it's like asking to pick which kids you like the best. Where does the passion lie with the two businesses, or is it like sometimes it's this and sometimes it's that? It's the hair, hands down. That's a no-brainer. It's been my passion. It's still, I still, even after all these years, I still love to do hair. I
let me see. I love to cook, but it's not like how I love to cook.
Really, still.
And the reason I love to cook is because I love to eat. I'm a foodie, and that's where that actually came from.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I gotta learn how to cook this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm spending too much money at these restaurants.
Right.
Yes.
And then I saw something you were doing like a group of people and y'all just go out to different restaurants or something like that.
So I started a foodie club and I haven't been consistent with it because I want to lose my stomach from having my baby. So I said, you would start a foodie club right after having a baby? How you going to lose your stomach? You know, so I haven't been consistent because the restaurants are not the healthiest. So I gave that kind of a break, but I may still continue it because it will be healthier options. I don't always have to order, you know, such heavy stuff.
Right,
I do go to the restaurants, but I will start that back up. But it was just a group of people that's foodies that love to try different restaurants, and maybe sometimes, you know, your husband may not always want to go with you, or your girlfriends may not be up for it, you know, but this is just a group where you can go and try different restaurants.
Well, definitely let me know when you start coming back up, because I love to go to different restaurants. And
yes, I always see you and your sister out trying new stuff.
Yes, I'm an aesthetics girl, so like count me like right in for that. I guess my next question would be, you know, you got the catering business, you got the hairstylist business, you got the mom, you got the wife. Is self-care a thing, and if so, what does that consist of?
Ooh, I'm bad with self-care. I always put that on the back burner. I feel myself some days like, oh my God, you need to get yourself together. You know, I'm the type of style that's like, don't look at my hair. It's not about me, it's about you. You know, like I will wear a hat for 2 weeks straight. And yeah, don't do my hair. I'll let my nails grow out until it's time to go somewhere. Okay, confession. So the girl you see on Instagram is once a month. After that, it's like, I'm a mom, I'm at home, I'm in my robe, my hair in a bun, no lashes on, dry. I want to do more self-care. I do though.
Okay.
I feel like when you look good, you feel good. You know, even though I do feel good when I look a mess still, it does make you feel better. You know, once you fix yourself.
Because some people like being at home with, you know, with the kids and.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. It's because it's a lot to be a woman and keep yourself up and looking nice, you know. So
especially in this age, like for real. Even with going with the self-care, like it's one thing to maybe can enhance or increase your self-care, but when it comes to like stress, like, you know, you can't. How do you deal with stress when it comes with all of those things?
I hate to say it. I mean, I definitely get stressed, you know, but just going home, talking it over, I try to not let one day bleed into the other. Because it's so easy. Something so little on Monday, before you know, you still upset about it Thursday, you know, and it takes too much energy to just keep something going. So I try to just like vent to my husband. We talk about it. We may come up with a solution. He's very like, I feel like nothing stresses him out.
So y'all just chill people. So it's not.
He's very chill. Okay, I can be definitely chill, but something will bother me. He's just like, it'll work out. Even though it does always work out, you know. But he's just like, it's okay. Don't let it upset you. I'm like, it's easier said than done.
Right.
I try to just, you know, leave it there, talk about it, and be done with it. Yeah.
With having multiple businesses, what like lessons learned or advice would you give someone that is juggling, you know, 2 different industries?
Balance. I guess knowing which one is more important, which one you want to put more time into. Yeah, it's just like.
I actually like how you said that, because I mean, you've made it very clear that hair is the priority, food is something I like to do, and it's okay to spend basically 70% of my effort on hair and 30% on.
I feel like I hate to call the catering a side hustle, you know, but that's kind of what it began as, you know, and doing hair is my career.
Mhm.
So that's always going to be first. I'm always going to, and that's what I was afraid of at first, because when I first started doing the catering, it was taking off. You know, somebody came in my inbox on Facebook like, "Are you still doing hair?" And I'm like, "Oh no." You know, I don't want nobody to think I just stopped doing hair and to start cooking. You know, so I'm like, I don't want to just, you know, then you have to learn balance. So
Yeah.
and that's why now people are asking me, "Are you still catering?" Because I feel like I'm not posting it as much, you know. But
And you
I'm
separated the
still
pages.
learning. I'm still learning as I go. Believe it or not, I've been catering now for, I want to say this is the 4th year. But it's like I'm still learning.
That's
I'm
a
still
long
learning.
time.
Yeah, I'm still learning the balance and.
So let me ask you this, because it's easier for you to say that because we're talking about 2 of your own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
If you were talking to a person that had a 9 to 5, would the advice still be to, you know, put more energy in the 9 to 5 as opposed to their business?
Well, if you know you need your 9 to 5, and that's how, I don't know if you have kids and that's how you keep it in the house, a roof over your head, then I will say make sure you put your energy into that 9 to 5. But don't let them take your energy from putting it into, like, don't let them drain you and now you don't have any energy to put into, you know, even though it may be a lot to still work a job and still have it, but in the end it'll be worth it. You know, don't let anyone take your focus off something that you really want to do. And I'm not saying quit your job.
Right.
You know?
Let's play a game. Okay, so we are going to call this or that hair edition. Okay. In the category of short blonde hair, would you go with Nene Leakes or Eva Marcel from Top Model?
Eva.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's hard because look at her. They're just so, they compliment her so well. I get so jealous of people that can wear just short hair because I could never do that.
Have you tried?
No, and I wouldn't.
Okay. When it comes to a flawless blowout, Kamala Harris or Olivia Pope?
Olivia.
Really? You know I love me some Olivia. Okay, I'll agree with that one. Okay, in the category of Beyonce, blonde hair or brown hair?
Brown.
Really?
I like her with the browns.
I like her with the brown too.
Yeah.
She should bring that back.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Okay, in the category of natural hair, Arie or Janelle Monáe?
Maybe
Issa?
Yeah, he's right.
Is it because you like Issa better?
Probably so. Probably been a little biased.
That's honest. Okay. In the category of big hair, Tracy Ellis Ross or Solange?
Solange.
Really? Okay. And in the category of braids, Brandy or Lauryn Hill from Sister Act?
Brandy.
Yeah. Hands down.
Brandy, yeah.
Okay, and just to throw one in the food edition because you're a foodie, Chicago Classic, Uncle Remus or Harold's?
Ooh, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Right?
I'm gonna have to go Harold's. Sorry.
Really?
Yes. I don't know what it is about the Uncle Remus sauce. I get sick of it after a while. You know how something can be, it's so good at first, and then it gets to be too much.
Really?
Yeah.
So look, y'all, all the hate comments, put them over there.
Please
Okay. Okay, so favorite Chicago pizza?
Ooh, I eat Rosati's a lot.
I'm not mad at Rosati's.
Yeah.
So would you put that over Horn Inn and Beggars? Really?
And I'm not really, I've had beggars once, and it wasn't fresh.
Okay.
So don't quote me on that. I'll have to try it again while it's fresh. But, yeah, I like those ideas.
Okay.
I like Giordano's too, but I like
Yeah,
those
that's what I meant
ideas.
too. Giordano's, not beggars.
Okay.
Okay.
You like beggars?
I like pizzas. So.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the end of our game. You did very good. So what's next for you?
You know what? Right now, nothing. And I'm okay with that. Just being content. You know, I feel like so much in my life and over these last 10 years, I wasn't able to enjoy where I was wanting more. Or just thinking about my next step. It's like you get somewhere and then it's like, what's next? Instead of just
come on, soft life
being in the moment, you know. And I have accomplished a lot. Not saying I don't want to accomplish anything else, but I guess just trying to build up my catering a little bit more and putting a little bit more energy into that, and seeing where that takes me. Other than that, right now I'm very content and very happy with where I am.
I love that.
And trying to learn to be content and not just always. It's great to want more too, because I've always been that type of person, but it's like you take so much and you get to where you are and then it's like, now what's next? What's next after that, you know? So, yeah.
And you even, you know, really appreciate the wins or celebrate the wins, because it's always the next thing. I've gotten so many gems from you this conversation. It was like really, really good. I've learned so much more about you, and I'm glad that everything that I thought of you was that and even more or whatever. So I really learned a lot. What final words would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur?
To keep going, to don't be afraid to ask questions, to ask people for help. Some people will help, some people will not, and that's okay. To not let bad days get you down or to make you give up. It's just to try to stick with it. If it's really your passion, to just don't think of it like, okay, what would be my plan B or my plan C? Just this is the one and only plan that I have, and I have to make it work. You know, so
right. That's applause. Where can people find you?
At Arie Baby, ARIEFBABY. I'm on Facebook. I really use that as like for family and more personal. So you won't find a lot of my work on Facebook. I try to find different platforms where I can separate myself, you know, or show different sides of myself, I should say, not just all work. So
right.
I try to, and then on my work page, I try not to post a lot of personal. So it's just trying to keep it separate. I'm also on Snapchat. Please say the baby. I think it's REFBaby1 on Snapchat. I post my work on there. I post personal too. So it's like a little mix on Snapchat.
You're a lot on Snapchat. That's like your documentary.
Yeah, I like Snapchat. Yeah.
So Arie, it was such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you
for having me.
Your wisdom. I'm sure all of the viewers have learned a lot. Everybody, please go and follow Arie, get some hair tips. I'm sure that if you have any questions, because she has been helped by people, that she will help you
for sure
to get started. Yeah, and yes. I think that's a wrap.
Okay, let's toast to that. Yes,
that was good.
Thank you so much for having me. I told my baby, I said, I'm gonna be on YouTube. She was so excited. You know, she loved YouTube, so
that's
all that mattered to me.
That's so good.